Welcome back to section 3.1 part 2. Make sure to take notes along with me, pause the video often, and we'll get started with beyond the basics of measures of center. So we're going to be looking at a mean from a frequency distribution and a weighted mean in this section. To calculate the mean from a frequency distribution, it takes a little bit of work. So we're going to need each frequency and class midpoint. Then we're going to multiply each frequency times its midpoint, add all the products up, and then divide by the sum of all the frequencies. This is the formula. So I'm just going to explain it one more time, and I'll show you where in the formula it comes from. So we need the frequency and the midpoint. So that's f and x is going to be our midpoint. We're going to multiply, so that's f times x, and then we're going to add them up. That's the sigma here. That means sum. And then we'll divide by the sum of all the frequencies, and that's the sigma f here. All right. So calculate the mean of the frequency distribution. So again, the first step we want to do is we need the frequency and the class midpoint. So we've done this example several times, so I actually have the midpoint. And I'm just going to create a table to sort everything. So don't freak out at this table. All I did was added class midpoint and then added that f times x because I know I'm going to need to do it. And so again, the formula that I'm trying to do, x bar, the mean, is the sum of f times x over the sum of f. So I'm really just trying to get the numerator, which is right there, and the denominator, which is right there. So I can find the sum of all the frequencies, that's 50. That one I can do just by adding up that column there. But to calculate f times x, what I need to do is just multiply those two. So I get like 1094.5, multiply these two, and I go across, and then I'm going to add them up. I get that there. So then what I use is I use this value and this value into the formula, and I get the mean from the frequency distribution. Now, this is an approximation because I used the class midpoints and I didn't use the original list of service times. So you go ahead and give it a try. I encourage you to build your own table and press play when you're ready to see the answer. And there you go. That's my table. And here is my answer. It did ask me to compare to the actual mean. I got the exact same thing. So when you calculate a weighted mean, this is something you'll probably do in your classes. So if you know that it's, 20% for tests and 10% for the final, you might do 0.2 times your test grades plus 0.10 times your final, and so on. And that's how you can calculate your weighted mean. So when different x values are assigned different weights, we can compute the mean by multiplying each weight, so there's the weight, by the data value, that's your test score, and then divide by the sum of the weights. So normally, like in a class, it would be 100. Let's look at this example here. In her first semester of college, a student of the author took 5 courses. Her final grades, along with the number of credits for each course, were as follows. And the grading system assigns quality points to letter grades. So compute her grade point average. So the weights here are right here. 3, 4, 3, 3, and 1. Those are her grades. And then the corresponding, we're going to replace the letter grades with their point values. Take a peek here. So we've got the A was 3 credits, right? So we know that an A is really worth 4. And so that is the 4 is worth 3 credits. And the B, she got another A, sorry about that. She got an A in a 4 credit class. So that's another 4 with 4. And then she got a B on a 3 credit class. So that a B is worth 3 for her 3 credit class. And then she got a C. So a C is she got a C in a 3 credit class. So that's worth 2 points in a 3 credit class. She got an F, ouch, in a 1 credit. Okay, maybe she didn't care that much. So, oops, I did it there. 0, 1 credit. All right, and so then what do we actually do? We actually multiply these. 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 3 times 3, 2 times 3, and then we add them all up. And we divide by the total weights, and we get our GPA. So those, not her actual scores, but the actual weights of the course, like the credits. Go ahead and give this one a try. Ooh, oh no, that's the answer for this one. Go ahead and give this one a try. And press play when you're ready to see the answer. And there you go. So now let's actually, we did all this fancy fun stuff. Now let's use our calculator to figure this out. So the first thing, so it starts at 1, I'm going to call this 0, is we need to place a list of data into our table, into our calculator. And I'll remind you how to do that. But then, oops, there's my calculator. I'll move that out of the way, sorry. So we'll place a list of data in, we'll press the stat key, we'll calculate, get the one variable statistics, and then we'll get this screen. And then look at that X bar, we know what that guy is. And look at that median. And there's some other stuff in there we might want too, but for now, we can get the mean and the median. So let's do an example. So these are the Jersey numbers. So let's go ahead and enter the data into a list. So place the data into a list by clicking Stat, Edit, and if you already have data in there like I do, you'll hit Clear. It won't look like it's clear, but when you press down, it will go clear. And then go ahead and put the data in. And I always double check. That's 11 pieces of data, and they said 11, so I know I've got it. So now that I've done this, I put the data in. Lost my calculator. Now I'm going to press Stat. I'm going to go over 1 to Calc. I'm going to see the one variable statistics. I'm going to hit Enter. My data is in list 1, so I'm good. If it wasn't in list 1, if it was somewhere else, I would do the blue key and then look for where that data is. And then I would hit Calculate. And boom, I can see that X bar, the mean of this data is 56.36. And if I scroll down, I can see that the median is 60. And there you go. Go ahead and give it a try with the airport data speeds. Press play when you're ready to see screenshots of my calculator. And there you go. So the mean is right there and the median is right there. And that concludes section 3.1, Measures of Center.